Hello my friends, it's Danny and today I am sharing my vegan 6 to start meal prep menu to help jumpstart your week. Now for those of you new to the channel, 6 to start is my easy, doable, family style approach to meal prep where I simply choose 6 ingredients / foods to prep on the weekend to make healthful eating very delicious and easy throughout the week. To keep the menu balanced and organized in my mind, I choose 2 dishes that are rich in protein, 2 that are veggie based, 1 quality carbohydrate, and then either a smart start or a sweet treat to round things out. So for this week's vegan 6 to start menu, my protein rich dishes are my Detox Lentil Soup and then a vegan tuna salad. For the veggie dishes, I've got a beautiful sauteed ginger bok choy and then my chopped up crudité. This week I went with some fennel and some baby bell peppers because they just looked so beautiful and appealing at the grocery store. Then for the quality carbohydrate, I'm showing you my perfectly cooked quinoa, and we'll be rounding out the menu with a little sweet treat this week. I've got my high protein Matcha Energy Bites, which by the way are also great if you want a breakfast on the go. Now you can of course skew these recipes up or down to make them work for you and your lifestyle. And even if you just do 1 or 2 of them, you're still gonna make things a lot easier for yourself throughout the week. So don't think that you have to make the entire menu or prep all 6 dishes to have a successful meal prep session, right? You gotta make it work for you. So hashtag I've got your back, hashtag I say 6, maybe you say 2, hashtag let's do this. And just a friendly reminder, I will be linking to all of the recipes down in the description box below, and I will also have a printable shopping list for those of you who are gonna make the whole shebang. Boom. So let's get started with the Detox Lentil Soup. This soup is rich with onions and garlic and vegetables and greens, which are all ingredients to help support the immune system and detox the body. So into a nice big pot, I'm heating just a little bit of olive oil, and to that I'm adding a chopped onion and a chopped leek along with some garlic. Season that with some salt and pepper, a little bit of dried thyme and some cumin, and then I give it a stir, and I'm just gonna let this go for about 10 minutes or until all those vegetables have softened up a bit and the onions are translucent. From there, I'm adding in some chopped up celery and carrots, along with collard greens that I've washed, stemmed, and then sliced into ribbons. Now I like to get the greens in there early so they get nice and tender. Let that go for another 10 minutes and then you're ready for your chicken stock. So in goes a bit of chicken stock, some cold filtered water, and then just a few tablespoons of tomato paste and my lentils. I'm using green lentils for this recipe. Now you always want to make sure that you rinse your lentils off first and just sort through them a bit. Make sure they don't have any little pebbles or stones in the mix. Give that all a nice big stir and then pop it up to high and let everything come up to a boil. From there, turn your heat down and let this soup simmer for about an hour or until those lentils are cooked through. It's great to get this soup on the stove first. This way it can cook while you prep the rest of your foods. Next up is my vegan tuna salad. Now the key to keeping tuna salad vegan is using chickpeas in place of the tuna and making sure that you choose a vegan mayo. Plus, I'm gonna give you a few flavor boosters in there as well. So here's what we're gonna do. I start by getting my chickpeas into a food processor, and then I just pulse them back and forth until they've broken down a bit. You may wanna do this in batches. You don't wanna overcrowd the food processor. You wanna have a gravel-like consistency, just like this here, once it's all broken down. So go ahead and repeat that as many times as you need to work through all your chickpeas. Then I'll transfer these chickpeas, AKA garbanzo beans, into a nice big bowl. And I'm adding in some finely diced onion, celery, and radish, along with some roughly chopped up capers. Then I'm gonna finish that with the vegan-based mayonnaise, along with a big old pinch of salt and some black pepper. Gently stir this all together, and you're gonna see that this bean salad really does mimic tuna salad. It is rather amazing, and it is absolutely delicious on a sandwich. We love layering it on top of a rice cake with some spinach and a big heaping plop of the salad, or you could even put it in a wrapper on top of a salad. Any way you would enjoy tuna salad, you could happily enjoy the vegan version. Moving on to my veggies. The first veggie I'm showing you is my gingered bok choy. So what I do is I simply wash and then I chop up the bok choy, making sure to separate the leaves from the stem. Then I'm just gonna heat a little bit of coconut oil in a nice big saute pan. Once that's heated up, in goes my grated ginger and some chopped garlic. Let that go for about 30 seconds. You're gonna see that it's gonna get fragrant very quickly. And then you're ready to add in the bok choy stems along with a splash of low sodium soy sauce. You could also do tamari here, and a little bit of water. Let that cook for about 5 minutes or so. You're gonna see that the stems become a little bit translucent as they soften up. That's how you know you're ready to add the leaves in. So go ahead and toss the leaves in, give it a stir. They wilt up within just a couple of minutes, and this bok choy is cooked and ready to go. I like to finish it with a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and a nice hearty sprinkle of sesame seeds over the top. Once that's cool, I'll transfer it into an airtight container and it's ready to go. This bok choy is yummy as it is. It's also delicious with some scrambled egg. It's lovely with a bit of quinoa or brown rice, and really all in all, it's just a very easy, delicious way to work some more greens into your menu. Now the second vegetable that I'm preparing for the week, I'm just doing a raw chopped vegetable. I call this my crudité and I love it. I change it up with whatever looks good at the grocery store. So this week I got some fresh fennel and these really cute baby bell peppers. And all I do with my fennel is I just chop off the stems, I slice it in half, and then I cut out the core, remove the outer layer, and then slice it into nice thick hearty pieces. And for my pepper, I like to just leave them whole just like this. I just find they last longer that way. If you did want to cut them up, you could easily just trim the top off, slice them in half, and just pull any little seeds out that are there. Both of these get stored in my nice big airtight container that is lined with a paper towel on the bottom to absorb any extra moisture, and this happily lasts in the fridge for the entire week. These are just great to have on hand when you want to munch on something. I can toss them in lunch boxes. We all love enjoying it with some hummus, or I'll squish a little bit of balsamic glaze over the top. My kids also like to dip them into some type of creamy dressing, and they like them with mustard on top as well. So there's really a ton of options. And don't forget, you could always chop them up and create a really simple chopped salad. Okay, next up is my perfectly cooked quinoa. Now, for those of you who do not know, quinoa is technically a seed. So it has more protein than most other grains, and it cooks up a lot faster than most other grains. So I start by rinsing off 2 cups of dry quinoa, and then I pop that into my pot, and I'm adding in 2 cups of vegetable broth and 2 cups of water. Bring everything up to a boil, and then reduce it down to a simmer and pop on the lid. You're gonna see that after about 15 minutes or so, that broth is gonna be all absorbed, and this little white germ is gonna pop off of the quinoa seeds. That's how you know that your quinoa is done and ready to go, and it's gonna be nice and fluffy, just like this. Once that's cooled down, I just transfer it into my airtight containers, and it's ready to go. Now again, quinoa is super flexible. You could enjoy it with that bok choy we made earlier. You could mix a little bit of salt, pepper, and garlic powder and just enjoy it as a side dish. We love serving it underneath some hard-boiled eggs with some sauteed spinach. I mean, truly, anywhere you would use rice or any type of grain, you can sub your quinoa in. It's also delicious, just scooped on top of a salad if you want to bulk it up, scooped into a vegetable soup. I mean, truly, guys, I could go on and on and on and on and on. So good. Now, before we get to the Matcha Energy Bites, we're just gonna circle back around and finish off the soup. Once the lentils have become nice and tender and all of those flavors have come together, I just finish it off by adding a tablespoon of sherry vinegar to the top. Now, if you didn't have sherry vinegar, you could also do this with apple cider vinegar. You can even do it with some fresh lemon. It just gives it a nice pop to finish the soup off. Then I shut the heat off. You just let it cool completely, and then into your airtight containers it goes. Again, I like storing everything family style, but if you prefer individual servings, that is always an option as well. Last but not least, we have our high protein matcha energy bites. And I have shared these in the past, but I just had to bring them back into the mix because we love them so much and they're so easy to make. So for this recipe, you're gonna need a food processor, and then all you're gonna do is add some rolled oats, 4 tablespoons of almond butter. Try to get the loose almond butter when you first open up a jar. You know how it's a little bit looser on top? That's ideally the almond butter you wanna use. You don't wanna use it when it gets really dry at the bottom of the jar. And some plant-based protein powder. Add in a little bit of matcha powder, about a tablespoon of chia seeds, a kiss of maple syrup, and a little bit of coconut oil. I'm gonna finish that with a pinch of kosher salt, and then we'll pop the lid on and just pulse it back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until it starts to come together. Now you're gonna see that the mixture, it kind of looks like dry sand, but when you pinch it, it sticks. That's how you know you're ready. If it doesn't feel like it's coming together, you could add a little more almond butter or a little more coconut oil or even a little splash of water. Then I just take about a teaspoon of that mixture and start to form it into a ball. Go ahead and roll it around until it looks just like that. Then I'll pop that into my airtight container and continue until I've worked through all of the dough. These are delicious when you want a little something in the afternoon with a cup of coffee or tea. And they're also ideal when you're running out of the house in the morning and you don't have time for breakfast, but you want to have something. Also, for those of you who have kids, in the car for after school activities. I love the Energy Bites, always a great option. So that, my friends, is what I've got for you today. 6 vegan head start ingredients to kick off your busy but healthy week. And as always, I cannot wait to see which of these recipes, if not all of these recipes, you decide to make. So make sure that you snap a picture and tag me using the hashtag 6tostart so we can all stay connected throughout the week. Now, if you haven't already, please take a minute to like, subscribe, and share this video with anybody else you know who wants to make healthy eating easy. And thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to be here with me. I am Danny Spies, and I'll see you back here next time with some more clean and deliciousness. Cheers! Hashtag cheers! You want to hashtag do, right? Hashtag do what works for you. I say 6 to start, maybe you say 2 to start. Hashtag I've got your back. Hashtag let's do this. Like, how can I do the hashtags so they're better?
I have no idea. You're on your own with that one.